2, 1. Welcome back to Midnight Memories, the podcast. Woo! I'm Aoife.
I'm Ali.
And I'm Harry.
And we are back with more 1D nostalgia. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. We haven't released it yet at the time of recording. So let's just pretend that we did and we got an amazing response.
Yeah, thank you, fans.
Oh my god, 50 million listeners!
Oh my god, we're influencers already.
See if we've been cancelled yet.
Is that a DM from Harry Styles?
Whoa! I've been booked for I'm a Celebrity next year. I'm really excited about it.
Oh my god,
Wow.
awesome.
Love the fans. Thank you guys so much. Anyone been up to anything interesting this week?
No.
That was a very grim silence before that.
Yeah, I felt like I needed bro.
I've been overdosing on a bit of 1D on TikTok.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So nothing new for
Nothing new,
Ali.
nothing's
Same
changed.
old.
I mean, there's been a week. I have not changed.
Yeah.
I've not got on TikTok yet.
You
I don't know.
need
I feel
to,
like the
Harry.
algorithm is too good. The algorithm seems too good. It would just kill
You'll
me.
be sucked in.
Well, since we all last spoke, well, we've spoke, but you know what I mean. Since we did the last podcast, I've watched a full series of Love Island.
Damn.
That's 51 episodes of television.
Stop.
Jesus Christ, Aoife.
That's a job. That's
You
a nurse.
spent more time. That's more than a job. You spent more time watching Love Island than I spent my job.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did very little work on the podcast this week because I was doing that, to be honest. So if you emailed us and I didn't reply, that's why.
What season?
Season 3, so like the Chris and Ken
Oh,
one.
amazing. Yes, I love that one.
It was very
Ken,
good.
my unofficial
It was very
boyfriend.
good.
Ken, I say I'm 5'10". This is me. Do you know what I mean? I've got white
Yeah.
jeans on, red trainers.
What's the season where they have the girl who, like, got with Zayn on it, and she's like 29, and they're all
Season
like,
2 or 1, I think.
Is it? That's so funny because
Yeah.
they're all like, she's so old, she's so ugly, and she's like, lovely looking girl. It's so funny. It's so weird.
Yeah.
These people are so strange. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to get her on.
Have to
Yeah.
get
We'll
her
have to
on.
do an episode of people who've shifted one direction and get them to like rate who
Oh,
smash it.
I was only thinking about this during the week. Do you know the way, like, obviously people sign, like, NDAs and shit when stuff like that happens? I mean, if we put a filter on their voice, and if they changed minor details, are we breaking the law?
Well, they'd be
I mean,
breaking
probably,
the law.
but
If you
are we
had a
breaking the
romantic
law?
encounter
They'd be
with
breaking the law.
Army Hammer, I don't know why he's the like first name that came into
Why
my
is that
head.
the first man that comes to your head?
Is Armie
after
Hammer-
1D?
I was gonna say Timothy Chalamet, and then I was like, no, too obvious. Army Hammer.
Is Armie Hammer-
the other option.
Is he Archie in Riverdale?
Oh my god, no! What a par to Armie Hammer. He's the twins in The Social Network, and he's in Call Me by Your Name.
Oh,
He's Oliver.
I saw the Social Network like 10 years ago on a ferry, and
Great.
I've
in the
never
youth
seen Call
club.
Me by Your Name. Yeah.
Do you know when I first heard the name Armie Hammer, I thought he was a wrestler.
Yeah. It does sound like that, doesn't it?
It's such a
It
wrestler
does sound
name,
like a
isn't it?
wrestler name.
Or like something that you would call like the local like mechanic or builder or something as a nickname. Oh yeah, Armie Hammer's coming in to fix the door. Not an actor.
No.
6'5", 220, and there's two of me.
So this week we're talking about Bootcamp and Judges' Houses. And there's a wild lot to get through. I did not anticipate the amount of content that would come out of 3 episodes of television, but here we are.
It was 3 episodes.
Yeah, so Bootcamp is 2, and then Judges' Houses would have been, because there's 4 categories, so then they do 2 episodes, and then like half the episode will be like the over 25s, and half will be the boys, and then on and on and on.
Oh my god.
The boys.
But yeah, let's just get stuck in.
Yeah, from the start, like, in the edit I watched of it, it's like, first up is The Boys, and it's just like, it's so strange. It's so odd, though. It's just The Boys.
Also,
Freaks
I
me
want
out.
to know why they cut it off at 25. It's kind of, that's kind of a weird age to
Yeah.
cut off. I don't know.
That
I would have
comes
said
up.
28.
We'll come back to that point, Alison, because that
Oh.
actually comes up later in episode 2 of the Bootcamp special.
Oh, spicy.
That sentence didn't really make any sense. We'll talk about it later. But this is where One Direction was born, guys. Crazy time.
Wow,
What a
wow,
time.
wow.
I know.
I wish I was there. I wish I was
Oh.
like a failed act, just dancing in the background,
I know.
watching Zayn leave.
I know.
Sounds familiar.
Freestyle.
Happened again a few years
Yeah.
later, huh?
Yeah.
A background character in Zayn ditching. Yeah, I was.
Come back!
Do you think Zayn probably did leave of his own volition, didn't he? Because he's just like some like guy, you know what I mean? From your
Everyone's
school,
just
you know what I
some
mean?
guy, Harry, at the end of the day.
Leaving boot camp or
Yeah,
leaving
but-
like our lives?
Well, he was never in my life really, to be honest. But
Hot take on a One Direction podcast to say Zayn Malik's not a part of your life.
yeah,
He is now.
Yeah.
he is now. Yeah, he's very much a large part of my life, whether I like it or not.
So Cheryl and Danny are absent from boot camp because Danny was off having a baby and Cheryl had malaria. Do you remember that?
That's not
this
true.
year.
I said that with too much excitement. Cheryl had malaria.
That's not true, is it?
Do you remember that? That's like
What the
a
that?
big pop culture moment in my
Yeah.
brain.
How did
Cheryl Cole got
I don't
malaria.
remember that. How did she get malaria? What was she up to?
She got bitten by a mosquito, obviously.
Yeah, do you know the way they always get celebrities to like climb Kilimanjaro and stuff? She got
Oh,
bit when
no,
she was
they do
climbing
that, yeah.
Kilimanjaro and got malaria.
All right.
F.
Oh
Is
my
that where it
God.
happened? Oh my god.
And the guy carrying her bags died of exhaustion.
Actually,
You said it.
That's a joke. That's
Oh.
I think that does happen though. Whenever people are like, I climbed Kilimanjaro, there's like two guys who like carry all the bags like for everyone. It's like, ooh, this is a bit odd.
It's a bit
It's a
bad.
bit strange.
me and Ali are going to climb Kilimanjaro.
Bullshit, Vivian.
And I know exactly.
Bullshit.
But I've
No, we're climbing Everest. Well, Kilimanjaro's our training,
Yeah.
and then over to Nepal.
First Pure Gym, then Kilimanjaro, then Everest.
One time when I was a child, I insisted that my family like go on a trip to climb Mount Slemish.
Did you do it?
Yeah, we did it. I remember it was good fun. Yeah, everyone enjoyed it.
So this is now a mountain climbers podcast. Welcome.
yeah. We're doing all the morns.
Join us on our journey to the Himalayas. This week we are climbing 1D.
Right, Aoife, do you wanna lead us a bit here because
We're at
we're
tangent.
getting
Yeah.
wildly taken off topic by myself. Anyway,
Like Kilimanjaro. Yeah, so it was just Louis and Simon, and then they were joined by Big Brian Friedman, creative director and choreographer to the stars, a stylist, which feels really random, and then 2 vocal coaches for the main bit of boot camp, but then Nicole Scherzinger comes in for the performance bits at the end. So then day 1, there's 211 acts, and by the end of the day, there will be like over 100 people cut, so there's
Wow.
108 by
That's
the end
really
of the first
scary.
day, which is intense, isn't it?
I like felt Zayn when they had to dance. I was like,
Yes.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, right. So day 1, everybody just gets split into their little categories, and then each category is given a song to sing. The boys sing Man in the Mirror, and Liam, Niall, Louis, Zayn, and 3-time Grammy nominee Harry Styles. We did it, Joe. All make it through.
King.
Congratulations to Harry Styles on his 3
Yes.
Grammy noms. Love you
Love
forever.
you.
I sent you an Instagram DM about it. If you could reply to me, that'd be really great.
Oh
So
my
yeah, there's not
God.
really much to report on this first bit. It's kind of very quick through the episode, and there's not really a lot of One Direction content in here. Although what we can talk about is a segment what we can talk about is a segment I like to call Harry Outfit, where we're going to monitor the shite he comes on stage wearing in boot camp. So on this day, he wears a wee fedora.
What an interesting artifact.
Oh my god, the fedora.
Little hat. What a dark time 2010
Oh,
was.
Christ.
Jesus.
That's probably before the fedora got ruined, because like the fedora was objectively cool for like a 14-year-old in 2010. It was like the best thing you could have.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh god. I feel like it's very like incel-y or something now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god, Harry. I'm looking up pictures. Ugh.
Yes, bad.
Harry. This man's a fashion icon now. Jesus Christ.
That,
What a
like,
change.
How?
With a lot of help.
Yeah.
Shout out Harry Lambert. Thank God for you.
A blessing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's day one. Nothing really to report there for any of the boys. Into day two is where the tea really starts to brew, I guess.
Yes.
Simon tells the contestants that Big Brian Friedman will be teaching them a dance. He tells them to stand out, to be daring, to be brave and unique. Zayn takes this a bit too far.
Iconic.
And he literally steps out of doing the challenge.
Right. At this juncture, can we just pause and say how strange Brian Friedman is? He's such a strange character. Why is he wearing like that dark green like tracksuit hoodie thing, but without a top? And like, I'm pretty sure he's wearing rosary beads as a necklace.
Oh my god, is he?
That was fashion then, though, wasn't it?
He's wearing some sort of big beady necklace. It looks a bit like rosary beads. Do I have any more notes on him?
I feel like he's so hashtag LA, isn't he? Like, he's just like the
Yeah.
embodiment of like America, and it's so weird to see him thrown in with all these like little like 16-year-olds from Bradford. Like,
Yeah, right?
it's
Like,
just
he's
very strange.
literally a choreographer for like Britney Spears and then spends his autumn doing the X Factor. Like, it's so strange.
Do you remember there's one season, it must have been before this, where he was a judge during the auditions? And
wow.
He left.
What?
Yeah, because he replaced Sharon Osbourne, I think.
Lol.
Who's the best judge. Yeah, and then he, like, at the end of the audition, like, episodes, he's like, the talent just hasn't been he's, like, crying. He's like, the talent hasn't been what I thought it would be. And then Sharon comes back for a big TV moment. It was so weird.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yup, Sharon Osbourne,
Yeah.
what queen?
Oh, what a woman.
She was great, yeah.
My unofficial ma.
Oh, how class would it be if she was your man?
Pretty class.
I mean, her kids turned up pretty strange anyway, didn't they? But
Who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
So yeah, Zayn not happy to be dancing. They repeat to the contestants like over and over and over that they're not judging you on your dancing ability. It's just a test of your stage presence and your rhythm. But like in the moment, you're never going to believe that.
Also, especially when you're that age, when you're so young, you're only looking at everyone else, and you're only like being like, oh, these, and he says it himself, he's like, oh, these people are all professionally trained dancers, and I just feel like an idiot. Like, I would have felt the same. I would have been like, absolutely fuck that. Like, I'm not a dancer.
Yeah.
No matter how many times they told me, oh, that we're not looking at your dancing, we're just looking at your presence. Like, a 16-year-old's not going to hear that.
Exactly.
when you see the people who are professional dancers, like, doing the dance, you're like, these people look like dicks.
Don't they?
Yeah, they just look wrong. Yeah, it's just so weird. They look unnatural.
I
Like
love that
lizard
clip
people.
of Zayn where he's just sort of standing there looking a bit clueless, and there's all these like lads in the background doing their sort of like warm up freestyle dance moves, and they just look like such spanners.
Yeah, just doing backflips from
Yeah.
crack, like.
Yeah.
What's the clip? What's the clip wherever like Zayn is sitting there being like all puffy and upset to the camera, and is it like Liam is like dancing like a maniac?
Oh my god,
in
it's
the
Louis
background?
beside him doing his best Danny
Oh, is it
Zuko like
Louis?
jazz hand. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, because he looks so happy as well, and Zayn's just there, just not arsed as he would be for the rest of his career.
Iconic.
Unhappy to be there.
Yeah, he says he just and so for this episode I've also been pulling some reference from One Direction Forever Young, our official X Factor story. A book
Our
which was
Bible.
so clearly not written by any member of One Direction.
Aoife, can I just ask, Aoife, how much would you pay for things such as that on eBay these days?
So I bought it on a secondhand book shop website and
Oh.
it was like £3.
All right, okay.
They
It's
have
not
4
it's not
books and I have 3
fabulous
of them
merch.
because one of them I couldn't find for cheap, and like, look, as much as I love One Direction, I've given them enough money over the years. I don't need to spend a tenner on their 5-year-old book, you know.
Also, I want to know who did write them. That's what I want to know. Was it their mas?
This feels like it's pulled from interviews that they've done. Maybe like collation of interviews and then just some per ghostwriter, some student who needed the cash. But yeah, in the book, there's like fully a page and a half where Zayn's just talking about how uncomfortable he was to be dancing. So he dips out the back hoping nobody's going to notice him. But they do notice him. And actual Simon Cowell goes and follows him, which is quite mega. Because, like, he is actual Simon Cowell.
But here's another thing to back up my theory from last week about them being formed in advance. Zayn's audition, obviously, it was good, but it wasn't incredible. So why is Simon Cowell running after this man to get him to come back?
Yeah, I find that really interesting. Like, he fully volunteers to go after this stroppy 17-year-old.
Like, you could just say, oh, Simon's just very, very nice person, but
he's not, so...
Yeah. So, I don't know. Something about that makes me think, like, oh, was that all set up? Like, I know Zayn is, like, awkward and doesn't want to dance, but I don't know.
It's the fact that, like, Simon says to, like...
Simon says...
the human... He says to the human, like, salmon, Louis Walsh, he's like, one's missing. He says, one's missing. Where's Zayn? And then Brian Friedman is like, over-pronouncing his name. He's going, like, Zayn? Does anyone know where Zayn is?
Does anyone know where Zayn is?
Meanwhile, a camera crew has followed Zayn to, like, wherever he is backstage.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a bit of a put on.
Also, interesting how he says one's missing. Did he mean one of the boys or one of the possible boy band?
Oh.
Tasty.
Conspiracy
Much
theory
to think
corner
about.
is alive.
Sherlock Holmes is here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've solved it.
So yeah, Simon goes and gets him and they have a chat. Zayn comes back and dances and you can tell he's very uncomfortable and Simon and Louis both comment on it. But he does it.
But I was going to say as well,
know?
he does the choreographed bit, like, not very well, but, like, all right. But then Brian Friedman just barks.
Oh, the freestyle
Brian Friedman barks at them, freestyle, go! Just like that. It's so weird. And then,
The best freestyle is Harry.
Excuse you, the best freestyle is Liam Payne, who's giving it socks. My God!
Harry's is so funny, though. Harry is just running on the spot and, like, tilting his head.
Speaking of 3-time Grammy Award nominee Harry Styles, it's time for Harry Outfit Watch. Harry outfit. Bad outfit, but looks very
my favourite
comfy.
one.
You love this one.
Mm-hmm.
Big
It
purple
does look very comfy.
hoodie.
I think he looks really cozy, and you just want to hug him. He looks soft.
Ah, boyfriend Harry, ooh
Ooh woo.
Simon and Louis both comment that Niall is all over the place, which is kind of fair.
When is he not? Ever.
At this point, I would like to give a weekly shout out to Mary Byrne for being iconic.
Oh, she has a great quote in it, actually. She's like, we're a bunch of misfits, but we're all here. Or
Yeah,
something
she's all like,
that.
we've so much talent.
who is that woman? I noticed
Yeah,
that
go on,
quite
Oh my
Mary.
God,
Who
Mary
she?
is an icon, Harry. She is from Ballyfermot. She worked in a Tesco and then made it big on the X Factor. She was giving it socks in the dancing, because I watched like part of the full episodes before I got bored of them, lol. And Mary was like loving the dancing, giving it socks. Like Pierre was like, I forgot how exciting it is to do exercise. And then and then her arthritis kicks in and she like can't stand. She's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And it's properly like, oh Jesus.
God.
And like she's limping to the
Mammy.
stage when she has to dance. And Simon Cowell is like, is she alright? And Brian Friedman's like, oh yeah, she has arthritis. Like it's so annoying for him.
I
That man
hate
is
that
a
man.
bastard.
And she gets up and she does it until her knees are too sore, and then she just freestyles the entire dance and is just having a ball, and it's class.
I love her.
So is she, like, still a going concern then, is she?
She's always on, what is that show that's on around like 4 or 5 o'clock on, I think it's on Virgin Media, it's like a chat show. She'll just be on
Oh,
it
yeah?
regularly. Giving some hot takes,
Uh-huh.
yeah. She does TV bits. I don't know if she still sings. She probably does.
Speaking of hot takes,
Oh, do you have one?
does anybody have one for our segment Hot Takes that flopped last week?
I have one.
Go on, Ali. Lay it on us.
I think it's just following on from my major conspiracy theory that it's a setup. I think, do you know when they send them all home initially?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Liam shouldn't have been sent home and should have got through as a solo act because he was much better than some of the people that got through as solo acts. So that makes me think they sent him home for the dramatics of then bringing him back for 1D. There's my hot take. Because there's no way that man was getting sent home. He was really good. His audition was good. His boot camp was good.
Yeah.
Doesn't add up.
My hot take is that society has progressed past the need for knives. And I think we should all just eat with forks and spoons or our hands or chopsticks.
I agree, actually, yeah. You can just use the side of your fork as a knife.
Yeah, other than like in food preparation, what do you need a knife for, really?
You only need your hands. I'm all for eating with your hands.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the Orthodox Catholic view whenever knives and forks were invented, that it stopped using your God-given hands, which I think is probably
Well,
the
I
best
only
if we
eat
just go back
communion
to...
anyway, so...
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy. Body of Christ.
One time when they were giving out the communion wine in Downpatrick, my sister, like, she was 16 and just stopped and asked the man, like, what type of wine is that?
Did she want to get it for when she was going out on the Saturday night?
She was just asked. Wanted to know if it was red or white.
The blood of
I
Christ.
actually googled this recently. It is quite strong as far as I'm aware.
What?
I'm going to Google this really quick because I remember looking this up. Yeah, holy wine. Have it here. Holy wine is 18%.
Nice.
18. How much alcohol did Jesus have in his body that's what he turned into? This man was on the session.
He loved it.
Harry, what's your hot take?
I actually thought about a hot take this week. My hot take is that Ringo Starr is actually a good drummer and was integral to the Beatles' success. If you listen to interviews with any of the studio staff at Abbey Road, they all say Ringo would have drummed for 8 hours solid to get rhythm tracks right. So, you know, come at me. Ringo's a good guy.
You're a big Ringo stan, aren't you?
Ringo was the cutest Beatle also, yeah. We've established that.
If you got a little crush, Harry, on Ringo Starr?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's quite beautiful if you like pigeon-looking men, but I don't know. Who knows? Okay, anyway, right, where are we?
So yeah, shout out Mary Byrne for being an icon. Nobody gets sent home that day, and then the next day, day 3 of boot camp, Nicole Scherzinger joins. What an icon, what a legend.
Mickey, yes.
She says that she's there to separate the men from the boys and the dolls from the pussycats.
Damn.
Oh, Nicole.
So yeah, this is the like
Nicole.
crunch time bit of the episode, like getting into the actual sing for your supper bits. So the contestants are given a list of 40 songs to choose from, and then so also I didn't realize boot camp is like a week long.
What?
Is it? And they only show a couple of bits of it. Do they like
Yeah,
train
it's
at
the
it?
way that they edit it. To me, I've always felt like boot camp was like a long weekend. But
Yeah.
so Nicole joins on day 3, and then there's like 3 days of singing,
Oh.
I guess
which I've just like never noticed.
how many people are they hearing? Like 200, did you say?
Like 100
100 at that
acts.
stage? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, of the 40 songs to choose from, Niall sings Champagne Supernova, but we don't see it.
Oh.
Louis and Zayn both sing Make You Feel My Love, and we also don't see it. And the only performances that we do see are Liam and 3-time Grammy nominee Harry Styles, who both sing Stop Crying Your Heart Out.
All of the stars are fading away and try not to
Yeah. Not a good choice. in
Harry
my
was
opinion.
actually the
Awful.
first boy in the entire category to sing, which is bare nervy, isn't it?
Oh gosh.
And we only see like a little bit of his
Yeah.
audition, which is
Not good.
kind of boring because it's a really bad song choice.
It's
because
such
it's
a
a really
monotonous
boring
song.
song.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
it?
it's like a B tier Oasis song, but like Harry is singing out of tune there as well. It's not a good performance from him.
Nah,
It's a bad
just not
song for him
good.
as well. Like none of those guys really do well with slow songs. IMO, I don't think.
It's also just too flat, isn't it? It's too
Yeah.
flat a song for anyone
Yeah.
to pull off.
I mean, yeah, it's literally a
Um,
song written for the voice of like an alcoholic cokehead. So I don't really know why those 16-year-olds were singing it.
Yeah. He mightn't be pulling off the song, but you know what he is pulling off?
The
That
outfit.
beanie.
polo and chino fit
Oh
in
yeah.
Harry Outfit Watch. Harry Outfit.
One
Yeah.
Direction inspired the uprising in chinos in young men in 2010.
No, they really
Fucking
did.
hell!
Though.
Do you remember the coloured chino, just like craze of just every boy
Yeah.
just wearing like green chinos and red chinos?
That's
and-
Louis Tomlinson's
Is it
fault.
Louis?
He done that.
Yeah, there's a good Louis outfit later in this episode that's good as well in the judges' houses. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is also the point in the episode where they kind of start checking back in on the storylines and the popular auditionees, because before this it's all been group work, but now we're back to the individuals. So Liam gets a wee segment and we see him rehearse with Brian. He's worried about forgetting the words, which he also mentions in Forever Young, our official X Factor story.
'Cause all of the stars have faded away. Just try not to worry.
He's got his big
Big
boots back
boots.
out that he wore in his first performance.
Yes.
And his performance is like solid,
pretty good.
and they all like it. But again, that song is so
The backing
boring.
track as well is awful. It has like weird like background vocals as well. It's so
Yeah,
bad.
oh my god.
Yeah, do you notice that?
But like, it's a solid performance. Like he is a beautiful singer. You have to, you know. I will not begrudgingly give him that. Like, he's a gorgeous singer. I phrased that really badly. I'm gonna cut
Yeah.
that. Lol.
Well, I do think they definitely early on in the season he is the best voice, or they're like pushing him as like a really good singer as well, aren't they? I think they're trying to push his like storyline
Yeah.
of being a returnee and stuff, aren't they?
For
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, it's beautiful performance, and all of the judges like it. But Simon worries that he thinks Liam is a bit one-dimensional. I think you meant one-directional.
Oh.
Simon's
That's
directional.
really bad.
Oh god.
Oh
my
also,
God.
in an extra factor clip, Simon says that Liam bores the pants off him.
Oh my
which is such a
God.
Oh, I
read.
don't remember that.
Yeah, so it's Connie Huck was a presenter of the X Factor, or the Extra Factor at the time, and she is asking him about like the standard and stuff, and he's saying that like he's finding that people really need to wow him with personality as much as a voice, like in this year in particular more than ever. And he uses Liam as an example and says, you know, a couple of years ago he loved Liam, wanted him to come back, but now Liam bores the pants off him.
Oh gosh.
Brutal.
And it's
That's so hard.
isn't it?
Oh my god. I hope Liam doesn't know about this clip. That's
I know.
imagine hearing that when you're that young, that you are boring. Simon Cowell is calling you boring.
Yeah,
Oh,
He's
I
not
would never
wrong, though, is he?
recover.
properly like.
He probably hasn't recovered.
Yeah, we can call him boring, but Simon Cowell can't.
Yeah. Simon's not allowed.
Yeah. So that's the end of the first episode of the boot camp weekend, and then into episode 2 there's more performances, but nothing 1D related, so who cares?
Fuck that.
And so then we get to the final day, day 6 of boot camp, and it's decision time. It's crunch time. And before we get to the crunch time, Harry Outfit Watch. Harry Outfit Watch.
Oh yeah.
You love this one, Ali. Do you want to take us away on a little description here?
I love this one. So this is when they're about to find out if they're going home or not, and Harry is wearing like this giant beanie and like a like nuclear green t-shirt, And I don't know, but there's something about the like silhouette of how he looks. He just reminds me of a strawberry. I don't know why.
Is he wearing one of those hats that you're meant to put your like dreadlocks in as well? Is he? Is that,
Kind
is that
of
the
like
type of
yeah.
hat?
that,
Yes.
He just looks like a strawberry.
Very cozy, very cute, very comfy. Stylish? No.
For 2010,
Very original
true.
for 2010.
it'll all come back around. Anyway.
But yeah, so there are some shake-ups in this part of the process this year. So usually there are 6 places at judges' houses, but because Cheryl and Danny had both missed boot camp, they offer 8 places, which I assume is so that they can like kind of see more of the talent.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't remember any of this until I watched it today, but this next one is very interesting. So Nicole is a really big player in the process here. And she notes that the boys category is a little bit lacking, but that the over 25s category has some strong young men in it. And she kind of questions why it's 25. And she says it's unfair to have these people who are like 25, 26, 27 competing with 50-year-olds. And that is when they move the boundary from 25 to 28 for that category.
Oh, is it currently 28?
Yeah, I think it has stayed like that since.
Oh my god, no way.
So did they move it? Did they move it in that episode? Did they?
Yeah, like literally like during the boot camp
God.
selection process, anyone who was younger than 28 joins the like respective gender category. Which is
wow.
mental because like what would have happened if that hadn't happened is One Direction probably wouldn't have been put together because at least one of them probably would have got put through solo.
Yeah, what the hell? Spicy. I forgot about
Yeah,
this.
I completely forgot about it as well.
Also, I wonder how much of a say Nicole Scherzinger actually had in the forming of them.
Well, yeah, so because obviously then when the categories are called, the 5 boys are all rejected. They're all heartbroken, and so is 14-year-old me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
can
I
I just
have-
say I took a note that Niall said in tears, "This is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life."
Yeah. And you know what?
Which is a
It
bit
probably
funny.
still is the worst thing that ever happened in his life.
Yeah.
We love to see privilege,
Oh,
don't we, lads?
God.
Lol.
Mullingar privilege.
Well, like, you know, it's what's worse than not being your mate's number one friend on Bebo or not getting through in the X Factor? Probably the X Factor.
I feel like Bebo Friends is probably a thing that really bothered Niall. Like Bebo Friends hierarchies.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can imagine him going on and sending girls love on Bebo.
Oh, for sure.
Remember sending the little love
Oh my
hearts?
God.
Remember trying to like collect as much love as possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Niall, I bet you he was a little hooer for that.
That was a hoorish thing.
I'd say he had a fair few loves as well.
Yeah, I remember being gutted by this. Ali, do you remember?
Oh, I was heartbroken. I was like, there is no way they are sending these lads home. I was like, they've gotten so much. Like, I think I was clever enough to know that they were probably going to do something because they were getting so much airtime. They
Yeah.
got so much more airtime than so many others.
But yeah, so there's this one lad in the boys category called Tom Richards who's like 1D age. He's like
Oh,
16.
yes.
And at his first audition and in boot camp, all of the judges keep saying, God, he'd be so good in a boy band.
Oh.
But they put him through as a solo artist and then make One Direction. So, like, what's that about?
You'd be fucking raging. Where are you now, Tom?
I did think it was so bad. Like, I felt so bad for all the guys in that lineup who got through who weren't One Direction.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
good for
fuck,
you, but
you'd just
oh,
be
honey.
like, you
Yeah.
just lost out on the opportunity of a lifetime, baby.
So then the magic happens. And so the boys are all away crying. And then they get called back. What's that about? What's
Do you
happening
think
here?
they knew? Do you think they knew when they went out and called them back in? 5 of them.
Well, one of them, I think it's Niall who said, like, I just want it to be good,
Oh yeah.
as if it's going to be, like, bad
Well,
news.
so I have,
you know,
I don't know where I've seen it, but I know 3-time Grammy Award nominee Harry Styles was raging at this point because he thought they were just fuming. He was fuming. He thought they were just calling them back to exploit the tears of young boys for the television.
Oh, isn't there a bit in the One Direction This Is Us film where Zayn's talking about this? And he's like, oh, they brought us in, they just want to make us little boys cry.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, actually.
Or was it Harry? Maybe Harry says it.
That's what I was thinking here as well. It's like, if you've ever watched Hell's Kitchen USA, if you ever watch that, it's just like emotional abuse through and through for entertainment. Like, that's basically what this is as well. Like, there's no need to have them crying for the cameras and stuff, even though it is
Nah, this show is cruel.
entertainment. Yeah, it's
it
pretty
really
bad. But I
is.
mean,
My heart broke for Niall on it, specifically, like when I watched it first.
So upset.
He's
oh my
so
god, he
upset.
properly, like, he walks away crying and, like, breaths out. I just can't talk, and it's so
Yeah, and it's also
sad,
just like, imagine being him, like you've gone all the way to London and you're at this mad place for a week and you're around like Simon Cowell and Nicole Scherzinger, and then you're just like being told that you have to just go back to Mullingar and go back to school, and it's like, oh, fuck this, like.
And they all seem to have had the best crack. So in the book,
Yeah.
Liam says that him and Niall shared a room, and like all of the young lads in the boys category were all having a ball, and then like, do you know?
Yeah.
It must have been some session as well. Like, imagine the crack you would have had at boot
Oh,
camp.
here, like,
Sounds like a fucking cult.
There's this Chloe girl who like turns up still drunk
Legend.
halfway through the first day of boot camp.
Ooh.
She gets through for like bare time of it as well. It's funny.
Yeah. I mean, that is cult tactics to isolate you from your family and friends and keep you in a
yeah.
completely
Yeah, make you more
separated.
emotional.
Yeah. Well, that's probably what they're
Yeah.
thinking as well, isn't it? The oil producers. But yeah.
So Ali, I don't know if I've gaslit myself, but do you remember a scene of Nicole being like, "I think they should be a group"?
I feel like
Because
that happened.
I have such a strong memory of it, and I could not find the clip anywhere. But I swear she was like, "You can't let them go. You have to put them in a group. What if it was this, 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 this?" Like, I have
Do
such
you know
a strong
what? This
memory
was
of it.
either an actual clip on it, or I remember like back around the time of that being on air. I remember on the internet people were very like, Nicole is the reason they happened. So
Yes,
I
because
don't know
Simon
whether
then
it's
claimed
just
it was
that.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've always thought it was Nicole.
I've always thought it was Nicole as well, but I don't know if that's just like internet fans saying that,
know.
or
Yeah.
whether have we made this up in our
If
heads?
you were
like,
a runner on X Factor 2010,
Please get in contact.
get in touch.
please remind
Well,
us.
I definitely got the feeling from like the way it's set up and stuff. Well, obviously they re-edit the auditions to, you know, put more light on these guys who are gonna get through to the live shows. But you know, it does seem like they had some idea that all these boys, they're definitely not going to be strong enough, all of them, to get through or even to win. But like, as 5 of them together or whatever, they are a marketable thing. They're also young and cute and stuff, that it would work,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, yes and no, because like I said, like, they don't show Niall singing, they don't show Louis singing, they don't show Zayn singing. Niall gets like a tiny mention in the dancing where they say how bad he is at it.
I wonder, do they have these clips somewhere? Like, are these like locked in some sort of like extra footage somewhere?
Surely they would have released them. by
Yeah,
now,
I
though.
always think about this, like all the extra songs that they've sort of done, but they're not just dropped the tapes. Like, they must exist because they would have had to film everything.
Again, if you were a runner on the X Factor 2010, please email us midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com.
Please, though, I'd love to see them because we're so unconvinced by some of their performances that maybe it was the ones that we don't see that sold them. Do you know, like, we could be completely wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, then the magic happens. They are put into a group.
Their little faces are so cute, like.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, they're all so delighted.
There was something else I wanted to say. In the Extra Factor bit, I think there's a bit of sneaky editing going on, because initially where they call them in and they're like, "You're in a group together," some of the
they're standing different, aren't they?
It's like, no, it's a different thing. It's like Harry and Zayn think that they've been told, you guys should form a group and audition next year. I think Simon was unclear. Yeah.
So the way that they do it is they try to do that classic X Factor thing where they're like, it's not good news. it's great news. So they tell them they're being put into a group. And then Simon is like, yeah, so we'll probably see you again sometime. Actually, we'll see you really soon because you're going to judges' houses.
But I mean, my God, what a stroke of luck for those boys. Like, remember I was saying
my
in that
God,
in that interview Liam did with the SAS guy, whenever apparently they asked everyone, yeah, they must ask them before they had them out in the judges stage if they wanted to be in the group.
Yeah, so it happens
Yeah.
when they're on stage. So Simon says, take 5 minutes, talk it through and decide.
Oh,
and Harry immediately goes, yeah, we're all in. And
I-
then Liam goes, hang on a minute, I need to think about it.
Wait, Liam said that wasn't aired. Was that aired, was it?
No.
It's like touched on the Extra Factor and it's in
Okay.
the book.
Yeah, Liam says in that interview with that guy who would have been murdering children in Northern Ireland had he been born 20 years earlier. He says to him, he's like, yeah, I called my dad and my dad said it's definitely better to be 1/5 of something than 100% of nothing, and his dad must be like his dad should like go to Las Vegas and take out a mortgage on the house. Yeah, like that man has some good instincts, like fucking hell.
Yeah, wow.
Wow, yeah. Imagine if he had been like, nah, definitely don't join the biggest boy band of the last 20 years. Fuck it. It's crazy.
God. I remember being buzzing about this.
Oh, I was
All your favorite
thrilled.
boys.
Yeah. I was very happy.
I was listening to Kanye West, so.
God, you're so cool.
That's so cool.
Jesus.
Yeah.
In the book, Liam says he was worried about how the band would work because Niall lived in Ireland.
Oh my God, border
So
problems.
someone along the way obviously introduced Liam to the idea of aeroplanes.
5 euro Ryanair
and-
flights, Liam. Jesus Christ.
It's
Wait till you get to the pandemic, Liam. Things are going to get far more complicated than that. And then, so immediately they all start going, what should our aesthetic be? And they all agree that they should dress like Louis. LOL.
Oh God.
Do you mean Walsh
I know.
or Tomlinson?
No, they all think Louis Tomlinson's really cool and they want to dress like him.
Imagine they
God,
all
do
came
they?
out week 1 of like live X Factor and they're all just
Louis-
dressed like Louis Walsh.
Oh my
I mean, they pretty much
God.
are, like, so.
It's not far off.
It's not far off, yeah.
Yeah. Also at this point, the first ever photo of One Direction is taken on this day.
Who
Oh
took
my
it?
God.
Was it Anne?
No, so it was Louis' mum Joanna.
Oh.
Was like, you have to get a picture, and gathered them together and took it. And it's iconic.
It is iconic. It's so weird though because they already look like they know each other really well. Like obviously, yeah, it's a week long. They probably did know each other really well by this point. To
Yeah.
be fair, but like they proper look like they do look like a band.
Yeah, like
Well, that's probably
Nicole
partly...
Scherzinger's brain is so large. You know?
Yeah, Nicole Scherzinger is going to get the Nobel Prize for services to boy bands in 2050.
Here, I wouldn't be angry at that. She deserves it.
Seconded.
I remember seeing that photo of them on like, this is like pretty embarrassing, X Factor Stan Twitter, because I followed X Factor update accounts to get the goss.
Same.
So that's it for the bootcamp episode. I've really flown through that segment of it. There's like, we literally could have done a full episode on just bootcamp alone. So we kind of skimmed through it, but One Direction now exist, and the 5 of them went on a wee retreat for a week to Harry's stepdad Robin's house, for a little bond to become the band we all know and love today. And so also at this point, they obviously didn't have a name.
Didn't they have a few options? Wasn't there like one really dumb option, if I'm remembering?
Yeah, so some possibilities were USP and status single, which are both shite.
I want to know who came up with the names. Like, which suggestion belonged to who?
In the book, it says that Liam's dad came up with status single.
What does that even mean?
I know, isn't
That
that
they're all
grand?
single? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Status single. Because even if it was like status symbol, but status single, if you're Liam Payne's dad and you're
It
listening,
sounds
get
like
in
a
touch.
tagline for Tinder.
Yeah. But thankfully, former White Eskimo frontman and 3-time Grammy Award nominee Harry Styles saved the day and suggested the name One Direction.
One Direction!
Oh my god, go on, Harry, you big king, yeah.
Yeah, so they chose this name because they thought it would sound good in Peter Dickinson's voice.
Oh my god.
Also,
Wow.
today discovered Peter Dickinson is Northern Irish and he went to Queen's.
No way.
And me and him share a birthday.
No way.
Legends only are born on the 23rd of
When
June.
are we getting him on the
Hello.
Oh my god, can we please email him and ask him to do our intro?
Yes!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, please. He probably charges like 10 grand per word.
Yeah, he's probably on. Is he on Cameo?
Maybe he's
yeah.
got a cameo.
God,
He's
maybe
probably
he's
very
on
expensive
Cameo.
on Cameo, to be honest.
Oh my god, if he's got a cameo.
I'll
Yeah.
chip in.
This is a high budget podcast,
Happy
guys.
Christmas to us.
So yeah, they go away. And it just sounds like they had the crack for a week. In an interview with Zayn Lowe that Harry did for the release of Fine Line, he tells this really, really sweet story about them seeing themselves in the paper for the first time.
Oh.
We'd heard this picture was being put in the paper. The 5 of us left this little bungalow and walked down to the newsagents and got the paper and then came back passing around the paper and we're like, let me see it again, let me see it again.
And it's just so sweet, like knowing how big they'll become for them to be like, oh wow, we're in the local paper. It's just really sweet and wholesome.
They were probably pure buzzing. I'd say they probably got like, you know, a full article and like a big picture rather than just being like just shoved in the bottom corner because like, I don't know, you planted a tree at school. It was probably like a big thing. I wonder, does anyone have that paper? Like, does someone have that?
Definitely.
There's definitely some fans
surely
over in, like,
somebody
was it
does,
Harry's
like,
local
wow.
papers? It's probably like a Cheshire paper.
Yeah, somebody in Holmes Chapel, if you have the paper from summer 2010,
Send us it.
midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com.
This is a super
please.
successful podcast and we are all really minted from it, so we will pay big dollar for that. Send it in a frame.
What's the One Direction collectibles market like? Are there like grails and stuff?
Maybe not, yeah.
I was offered 70 quid for a cup that one of them drank from.
Jesus
I didn't
Christ.
sell it.
My God. Well, yeah.
I reckon I could get more.
Yeah, I sold a cup for 20 quid after Croke Park.
Okay.
I'll tell that story properly whenever we get to the Croke
not
Park
that-
episode
it's
in
not-
like
Yeah,
3
I'm gonna
years' time,
save
but-
my cup one for Radio Tour. Because that's a story.
I was only asking because I was looking at a boxed set of Beatles Mono Masters vinyls, and it goes for £1,500 now, and it's the
Whoa.
only like
Holy
way you can.
shit.
Yeah, it's like fucking crazy. It was sold for £200 in 2010. It's just like pain. It's
Oh
the
my
only way you
God.
can get the
Yeah,
masters.
I think that like in years to come, One Direction merch will be like far more valuable. Like someday, like if I am proper strapped for cash when I'm like 50, I'd say my What Makes You Beautiful single will go for top
CD
dollar.
single.
I wonder how many of them they
Yeah.
made. How many did they make of them?
Yeah, it would depend if you had a.
Probably a fair amount. There's a Midnight Memories vinyl. Hey, just like this podcast, Midnight Memories. There's Midnight Memories like record store day vinyl that they did that was quite limited release. So if somebody's got that, I'd say they're like they'd be
They're
making
set.
money.
Those people
Yeah.
are buying houses.
Anything for record store, any limited edition, any misprints would be big, I guess. But I doubt any One Direction stuff would actually be good on vinyl because it's definitely not mastered for vinyl. It's definitely mastered to be loud as fuck.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? They're musical geniuses. They're as good as Ringo. So are we at the houses now?
Yeah, so judges' houses, they find out Simon will be mentoring them, and they're all delighted. Simon, not so much.
It's very weird the way they mob him. We
Innit?
talked earlier about how it was a cult, and he's like Brian Jones in the Jonestown Massacre. It's like they're all like mobbing him. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
You're gonna have to cut a lot of me out of this episode, Aoife, I think.
No, I'm not. I need to keep it in. It's your brand.
Yeah, it's my brand. Yeah, the people will
Oh
love
fuck,
it.
there's a spider on my wall.
Oh my god, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Brief pause while Ali kills a spider.
Killing the spider can go on the Patreon. Or like on the Instagram story.
Right, yeah, where did we get to? Sorry.
So we're in Spain, we're in Marbella, we're at judges' houses with Simon and Sanita.
Sanita, can we just discuss her first, please? What a fucking
Oh,
mission.
she's only
What a
iconic,
fucking-
like.
But didn't her and Simon go out for
I
such
think
a
they were
long
just
time as
riding.
well?
Yeah.
Weren't they riding? I don't know if they were together.
Yeah.
I thought they were engaged or something like that.
I
Maybe I've got
think it was
I've
like
got
an
it all mixed up
on-off,
in my-
on-off, long time
Alright,
thing, and
yeah.
then the woman he's with currently, she had the bright idea of getting pregnant, which Sanita obviously never
I
thought
hope
of.
Sanita is with a far better man now. That
Oh, it
woman
would be
deserves
so
the
hard
world.
to find a man better than Simon Cowell.
Is there any reason for hating Simon Cowell, or is it just because he's like a bit of a
I
strange...
feel like he was a bad man. He was a bad man. Because Niall does a James
probably a bad
Corden drive around thing recently enough.
Carpool karaoke.
Was it even was it a
Drive-by
carpool
shooting.
karaoke or was it just a segment? Was it? I can't remember.
Probably.
But he's out. He takes like a lie detector test thing in the car, and James Corden asks him something about like, "Do you like Simon Cowell?" And he says,
Mm.
"Yeah." And then the lie detector is like,
The tea, the tea,
So-
the tea.
"I want the tea." So 1D, if any of you are listening, drop that biography.
Oh,
Woohoo.
I can't wait for them to do a Jonas Brothers Happiness Begins style documentary in a couple of years and just pick questions out of a bowl and answer them
Yes.
honestly.
A few shots of tequila and
God,
answer
it'd
a
be
few
so good.
questions for us. That's all I want.
Anyway, yeah, so Sunita, on the Extra Factor, did any of you see Sunita giving Connie Huck the tour of the house?
No, I didn't.
So, you know the way,
actually.
like, it's very obviously just, like, a rented
Mhm.
villa?
Airbnb.
Yeah,
like,
it's just something. But anyway, like, yeah, Sunita's taking them around. Let me get my notes. This is a very professional podcast. Yeah, it's very strange. There's, like, pictures of, like, French counts and stuff up on the wall, like, French nobility, like, paintings and all. It's like, what's going on? And then downstairs, Sunita is going on a tour of, like, the spa, the gym spa area. And she's like, oh, here's where Simon works out his pecs. And then Connie Huck's like, oh, look at this. Look at this hot tub. Does Simon spend much time entertaining guests here? And Sunita's like, no, he usually sits in the massage chair beside,
What?
watching the guests.
Okay, Jeffrey Epstein. Jesus.
What?
Yeah, it's a very like Little St. James vibe. It's very strange.
Are we shocked? Are we
yeah.
surprised?
Well,
No.
no.
It's just very odd. It's just very odd.
Very
Oh
odd.
dear.
It's not quite right. It's not quite right.
So One Direction are at judges' houses along with FYD, who I kept thinking were called FYP, thanks to TikTok brainwashing. Twem,
No.
Diva Fever,
Twem.
Hustle,
Diva
The
Fever.
Reason, Bellamy, and Princes and Rogues.
Diva
So Bellamy were
Fever.
also
I
put together at
believe-
Bootcamp, but we didn't talk about them because they're irrelevant. Whoops.
Irrelevant. Yeah.
Harry,
I
have
did
you
think
got
it was
anything you
funny.
wanted to say about Diva Fever?
First of all, it's not Hustle. The girl group is not called Hustle. They're called Hustle. They have a T in their name for some reason.
One of them
Um,
has an incredibly interesting mohawk as well.
mullet sort of
Yeah,
vibe.
it's
It's
bad.
very strange. Yeah, they're trying very hard to be edgy. Diva Fever make me forget how to say the word fever because you want to say Diva Fever.
Diva. Why didn't
Diva
they call
Fever.
themselves that? Honestly, a missed opportunity.
Imagine writing out
Yeah,
FIVA. That's why.
I liked them.
I watched some of
Me
I watched
too.
some of their live shows. They were like they knew they were not very good.
They knew their
I think they
audience.
knew they were on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Jedward's audience.
I don't know. They're just yeah. Well, I thought they were just two gay men having a laugh.
Yeah, they were
That
just
was
having
really the
fun.
vibe I got. Yeah.
I very
Yeah,
much vibed with
which-
them. I
Yeah.
remember really liking
Yeah.
them.
But their version of what's the song they do? Is it the
At
Lily
judges'
Allen song?
houses, Diva Fever do
Yeah,
Love
Judges'
Machine.
Houses. Yeah, oh, they
Because
do
of
Love
course
Machine,
they
sorry,
do.
Yeah.
Ah,
Iconic.
Yeah, and it's not in time. It like one of them can't sing.
oh no.
Yeah, oh, they are funny. Yeah, they were good.
I always wonder, do like the judges all sit down before judges' houses and decide amongst themselves who is going to be, do you know, like the entertainment act, the Wagners, the Jedwards? Like, do they decide this
Yeah.
before they bring them to judges' houses? Like, who's their sort of risk to put through?
Well, Diva Fever actually, Simon doesn't put them through. They get put through as a wild card.
As a wild card, yeah.
And so does Wagner. Oh my god, I never realised that. I'm on the X Factor Wikipedia lol. Yeah.
Oh my god, he
which
was.
is mental
Yes,
because
that
he's
was
an
really
icon.
controversial, wasn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that now. What the fuck?
Oh my god, also, this
just
series
go-
of X Factor had, you know the meme of, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Well, you said that with some determination.
I'm ready.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
That girl was on this season of X Factor.
No way.
Which I didn't realise until I was watching Bootcamp today, and there she was. I'm
Didn't
ready.
Wagner do a version of Love Shack? I feel like that just like lives rent.
Oh,
free.
yeah,
and he
yeah,
played
I
the
watched
bongos!
He played the
Yeah.
bongos, and he was actually all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think about
remember,
that a lot.
Harry, do you stand Wagner? Because I do.
well, I think quite a lot about his very lovely rendition of Celtic Symphony by the Wolf Tones. That was a great moment in culture.
Iconic.
Lol.
Guys, he's on Cameo.
Wagner's
well,
doing an intro
is he
for
still
us.
on
Oh
Cameo?
my god.
This intro. we
I'm
should
gonna
do this
pay for a
intro.
Wagner cameo.
Yeah, we'll get him to sing.
That's what I want for
The
Christmas.
Rifles, the IRA.
So yeah, they're in Marbella. They're having a laugh. Disaster strikes. Louis cuts his foot on a sea urchin and has to go to A&E.
Fucking drama queen.
And it's a disaster.
He's
It's
established
complete
himself
disaster.
as the main character immediately by doing this.
I love that for him.
I know, right? The rest of the boys worry that he won't make it back in time for the performance and they'll have to make their debut without him.
He's sitting outside the hospital. They're waiting outside a Spanish hospital. No, but Harry says, he says when they're trying to rehearse, and Harry stops midway, and he's like, "It doesn't sound thick enough without Louis there."
Do you think that was thick with two C's that he meant?
It doesn't sound girthy enough without Harry there?
Ugh.
Without Louis there. Yeah, oh my god.
But guys, don't worry. He comes back on time. All is well.
In the nick of
One
time.
Direction are the last group to perform.
Save the best till
and
last.
I didn't watch any of the other groups because I couldn't be bothered. Soz! But yeah, so One Direction make their debut singing Torn by Natalie Imbruglia, which I didn't need to tell you because it's iconic!
Has run dry, and that's what's going on. 'Cause nothing's fine, I'm torn. You're a little late, I'm already torn.
It's pretty
Good song choice.
This is pretty
Very
good.
strong
Can I-
choice.
Can I briefly go in on the song "Torn" by Natalie Imbruglia?
I would love if you did.
Imbruglia. So that song is actually written by a guy called
Ringo Starr.
Peter Ringo Starr. It's written by Ringo Starr. It's written by Peter Thornhill, who produced The Cure's album Pornography,
What?
which is like just I don't know. Have either of you listened to
Have
that?
I listened to
Yeah,
The Cure?
I didn't know this
No,
fact.
Yeah.
I only listened to One Direction.
No,
Who
the
are
album
they?
Pornography specifically. Oh no, I'm talking about the album Pornography specifically, which has like, well, for our listeners who may not know it, it starts with like the first line of it is "It doesn't matter if we all die." It's like a crazy album. So anyway, he produced that album. Fuck you, Aoife. Turning off my Wi-Fi. I quit.
I was going to leave all of this
Taking
in,
the
so
Patreon
chop
with
away,
me.
Harry.
Okay, well, yeah, so Well, anyway, he produced that, and he also then joined The Cure and played on their song, like Love Cats and stuff around that era. And he also wrote for Pixie Lott. He also wrote her song "Boys and Girls" and "Mama Said," which are both like shit.
No, she was an
Yeah,
icon
that's the
for a
same
while.
guy. It's
she
crazy.
was everything.
She was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
well, that song "Boys and Girls," I listen to that, and that's still in like bargain hunt all the time. Like that, he must get so much money for licensing.
When
that.
the beat kicks in, you feel it in your bones.
So yeah, that's Torn, which is a good choice for them. Which is like the last good song they sing on the show for a long time.
Before we get into their actual singing, talk about the outfits. So cohesive.
Did they plan it? And how far in advance did they plan it?
Like, whichever one of their mums chose
Anne.
this, props to her.
Absolutely Anne.
I feel like it was Anne as well.
Well, Harry had a penchant for the scarves, like a scarf.
Didn't
on
he? A scarf in his audition as well.
And the low cut sort of top, which exposes absolutely no chest hair.
Titties.
Which also, I feel like the scarves were very much not
A bit of a weird one, yeah.
Then. So, like, was he trying to make a statement? Like,
I know,
was he
England's a
trying
weird
to
place.
King, always.
Got
Or was he just like that weird sort of creepy lad in school who dressed a bit eccentrically?
If you went to Holmes Chapel
Pre-1D
Grammar
Harry.
School, Harry Styles.
Is that what his
Midnight
school was
Memories
called?
Pod.
Get in touch.
I don't know. Holmes Chapel Comprehensive or something.
All right,
I
okay.
don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, Aoife,
Oh, I don't
act
know.
like
I
you
don't know.
don't
Who
know the
knows?
name
Oh,
of his
I don't know. I think it
school.
was Summer Heights High.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh god, that show.
But yeah. So into the performance. Into the performance then. So Liam and Harry kind of take the lead. Zayn adds some harmonies and some runs, and then Louis and Niall just sort of sing back up, which ends up becoming the 1D standard. But there is an elephant in the room that we do need to address, guys. Louis is not singing.
He's not singing.
Louis and Niall's mic is turned off.
Niall
is singing because he's doing them oohs. There's not a word coming out of Louis Tomlinson's mouth. In fact, he's just mouthing along with Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's literally mouthing the words that Harry's singing and sort
really
of like,
performing it.
like smiling
once
and-
again,
and
the Danny
doing
Zuko
weird
training
shit.
is paying off. Like
There's one shot in particular where you can tell that he is like just there for a laugh, really.
like
this man is just in it for the lols. 100%.
Yeah, this man's there for the meme.
He can't believe he got this far.
Yeah, if he had just done the oohs along with Niall, you wouldn't have noticed he's not singing. Simon doesn't notice. Sunita doesn't notice. I didn't notice for like 10 years. But watching it again, it's like he's silent. He is lip singing for his
He's doing
life.
nothing. What I thought was happening was that Niall's mic and his mic in the mix were either turned off or turned down or whatever. And so Liam obviously sings the first half of the song, then Harry takes the back half, and his voice is actually really fucking good. But then Liam then does the ooze, and Zayn does the like superfluous like X Factor. I am a singer.
Yeah, Zayn kind of takes the "this is how I feel."
Yeah, he
kinda
does
lines.
that. Yeah.
Zayn's the Mariah.
Niall is singing. Niall's singing them oohs.
Niall always does a good job of the ooze and the enthusiasm.
He'd want to do a good job at the oohs because that's all they're going to give him for 5 years.
Oh, Niall, we love you.
We really do. Niall, come on the podcast.
Yeah, please, Niall.
Whenever they become a proper touring act, do they actually do they ever do harmonies or anything, or are they always just doing ooze?
No,
They get
do.
better,
'Cause,
Harry,
I mean-
don't worry.
They do.
I mean, I've watched all the live shows, and none of those are like that. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but that performance of Viva La Vida is like, what are you guys doing? But anyway, we'll move on from that. I thought the Torn performance was pretty strong, to be honest.
Okay, I'm really glad you said that because I was wondering if I was very biased, but I think it was very good, very promising.
I think it was pretty good.
I think, like, for a debut as a group as well, they looked so cohesive. Like,
I think
looked
Harry
right.
carried it.
And confident.
Harry carried it.
Harry
in
was
my-
really
in my
great in
opinion.
that. At that point, Harry very much felt like the leader, and there's an extra factor clip as well where Connie Huck asks Simon who his favourite member of One Direction is, and he do say Harry.
Yeah.
I wonder, was there little scraps between Harry and Liam? as to who would be the leader.
I'd say
I'd
so.
say so.
I'd say so.
Yeah, because you can tell they both sing
both want
lead,
it.
and then the rest of them are happy enough to sit it out.
They're just happy to be there because they're as shocked as we are that they got through.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But yeah, Simon and Sunita like them. Simon says that they're cool, that they're relevant.
Relevant. They're very relevant.
Good looking, that's what you mean.
Very strange.
And then
Dun, dun, dun.
decision time. Dun dun dun. So Bellamy and FYD are put through to the live finals. There's one slot left, and it's 1D versus Princes and Rogues.
If we just talk about Princes and Rogues for a second, very strange guys. What I noticed about them is their ages are 21 to 29, which is way too old. I think even being 21
Quite
compared
fast.
to... I think it is. Because if you're 21, are you going to appeal to like a young teenage audience? Maybe.
Probably not
yeah.
because they would think you're slightly
Yeah,
unattainable.
you're too old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're marketed very different if you're 21 versus, like, if you're debuting at 21 versus debuting at, 16, 17, 18.
There needs to be a level of
Yeah.
attainability, I think, if you're a boy band.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, obviously they're never
Yeah.
attainable, but it's the
But
idea that they
it's then the fact
could
that they're
be.
up to 20, like if you're going up to 29, you're not really going to be a teen heartthrob. You need to be something for like the mums and the dads then, you know what I mean? But like their audition was really good. They sing proper harmony, they do everything, they're so good, but like it's just they have the wrong look.
It's too polished.
Wrong look. Yeah, well they're going for like a preppy
They
sort
really
of look,
give
aren't
me Tory One
Weird.
Direction.
Yeah, R.I.P. Baroness Thatcher.
Where are they now? In their
Yeah,
40s.
one of them is literally 40 right now, or is 39 right now. Like, my God. Yeah, it's a bit too old.
Yeah, if you were in Princes and Rogues and you're listening,
Come on. Well,
Midnight
but
Memories,
as well, if
gmail.com,
you think about it from
come
like
on up.
the producer's point of view, someone who's 17 is going to be is going to be marketable for a longer time. Because then if you have
For
someone like Harry
longer,
Styles,
yeah.
he's now obviously transitioning into like growing up with his audience in a lot of ways.
And
then,
he's still not as old as
yeah,
Princes and Rogues.
he's still... I guess he...
3 Grammy nominations, and what did Princes and Rogues do by the time they were 26?
What age is Harry Styles?
26.
He's 26.
Oh, I've got 2 years to catch up. It's fine. I can still achieve that much.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're
It's
still
fine.
young.
So then it's crunch time. Simon tells them it's a head versus heart situation. His head says this is a risk, but his heart says they deserve a shot. And it's not good news. It's great news!
Bow, 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 bow.
He
Dad.
goes with his heart. One Direction are through to the X Factor Live final.
I mean, really, surely his head should have said One Direction as well. Because
I know, right?
Money.
I remember watching this, and I was standing in front of my TV, bawling, crying.
Jesus.
I was so happy.
Yeah, I was buzzing. I was like, you up the lads.
That's the 1D magic, Harry. Like, literally from the first time you saw them, you were like, I'll sell you my soul.
I mean,
Honestly.
you can't deny
for
can't deny
free.
it.
I'll give you my soul.
I can't deny it because enough people did it that they became like the biggest thing
Yeah.
for like 4 years.
So One Direction are through. Yeah, I remember like stood in front of my TV bawling. I was so happy. Like when they were jumping around screaming, so was I. Like,
Yeah.
and they're so cute. There's like one of them, which I feel like is Niall, just like a proper teenage boy.
It is Niall. Niall
puberty
jumps, doesn't he?
scream, and it's so cute.
Oh, you just want to be there.
That's it.
Also, they're like on holidays in Spain
Yeah.
when they're getting this news. Like, they're not just like getting this news, they're also like on the session with the lads in a foreign
this is
country.
it. Like,
This must have been some crack. Imagine the celebration that they probably had.
oh my god, like,
Like the celebration we didn't see.
yeah.
It happened, and I want that in the autobiographies as well. So, guys, if you're listening, Please include it.
Liam Payne, I know you're listening. Liam Payne, I know you're on 1D TikTok. I know you're listening to this.
Here are our requested chapters.
midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com.
Anyway, for I actually have something more relevant to the judges' houses. Is that in Connie Huck is interviewing them on so Connie Huck is interviewing them on Extra Factor, and she asks them like, "Oh, so you guys have been together for not very long. Like, how does that feel?" And Harry is like, "You know, we get along personally, but then whenever we're rehearsing, it's just like work." You know what I mean? Or like, you know, we just get on professionally.
I feel like that he was joking though, because the rest of them are laughing. So I thought that was like a joke.
I don't know. I thought it might have been somewhat true, that it might have been better that they didn't know each other. So then like you can just like be like, please. Well, obviously they didn't, because like 3 members of the group did fuck all in that judges' houses thing. So I don't know. Maybe they were able to leave their egos aside enough to be like, maybe let's not give Louis Tomlinson the solo in this piece.
Cutting that. So yeah, I was going to say any final thoughts, but like we can't really have final thoughts because it's just the end.
So what are we doing next week? Are we doing like the...
Next week we're talking about the X Factor live shows.
Baby.
Oh, what a treat.
I know, right? So we'll be talking about everything from the performances to the video diaries to what's happening. And just the rise of 1D, I guess, in the UK and Ireland.
This is when they started to gather momentum, though, isn't it? The video diaries.
Yeah, the video
Can't
diaries,
wait.
I think, like, play such a big part.
Really?
In, like, having
Sold
so
them.
much, like, there's so
Yeah.
much One Direction content of that time.
I looked forward to them so much.
Okay,
like-
guys.
Yeah,
How many hours of content video diaries am I gonna have to watch?
Oh, they're quite short.
Oh,
They're
no,
quite short.
yeah.
Don't worry.
They're, like, not even 5 minutes long
Okay.
each. You'll love them.
And they are actually probably funny. I have never watched them
Yeah.
back since.
Well, some of them seem
but
like
they're
they probably all
funny.
seem like funny guys, funny English guys.
And
yeah.
Niall's Irish.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for listening. All 50 million of you tuning
Yeah.
in
Thank
once
you.
again. We're so delighted. Anybody want to plug their socials?
No, I'm afraid of getting fired from my job this week, so I'm not going to do it this week.
Oh, you don't want to tell anyone to follow
Squid Marquee at Twitter.
Well, if you want to follow me, I'm Eva Brown. Oh fuck! What am I?
3,
on Twitter?
Eva Brown 3, is it not?
No, I'm 7 on Twitter.
Oh,
Aren't I?
sorry.
Because
Ethan Brown 3 or 7.
If you
Try
wanna
them
follow
both. Try them
me-
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, just try them both.
And that's
Brown,
Aoife
spelled
spelled
AYFEBROWNE.
EFIE.
No.
Oh yeah, Aoife, you probably need to spell your name for them.
Yeah.
For the tans.
If you want to follow me, I'm at Aoife Brown 7 on Twitter. That's AOIFEBROWNE, the number 7. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Aoife Brown 3, which is once again
Damn.
AOIFEBROWNE 3.
I must be pretty obsessed with you, Aoife, to know your like socials names. Sorry, Ali.
My first stan. I'm so happy.
She's like, I'm an influencer. What can I say?
What can I say?
Ali.
My Twitter is Fizzy Ali. Ali spelled ALLIE. And then my Instagram is Ali _jam. That's it. That's me. I got nothing else to sell here. Sorry to bother you.
Yes, you do. Chat shit.
Oh yeah, I have another podcast. It's called Chat Shit, and you can find that at Chat Shit Pod on anything.
We're all good podcasts.
Because we were able to get the same username the whole way around.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard and want to hear more, give us a wee follow on whatever platform you're listening on, and if a review is available, leave us a review, but only if it's a good review. We don't want to hear any constructive criticism.
Fuck
Thanks. Give us a follow at Midnight Mems Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you fancy coming on, which we would absolutely love to have you, fill out our wee Google form, which will be shared across all of our social medias, or just drop us an email at midnightmemoriespod@gmail.com. That's it.
Bye.
That's it.
See you next
See
week.
you next week. Queens.
Dun, 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 dun,
See you in
dun,
hell.
dun, dun, dun.
Bam! Oh, thank fuck they're gone now. How long were we recording for?